Hey Charlotte, thanks for asking such great questions. So you already know how a compass works. It gets pulled toward the north by magnetism. But why does that work? And the reason is that the Earth has what's called a magnetic field. And that's created by metal in the Earth. And it's so hot inside the Earth that metal, like this, melts. And that metal moves around. And when it moves around, it creates a magnetic field. It's basically like there's a big magnet inside the Earth. So your compass needle gets pulled toward one of the two poles in that magnet. Just so happens to be the one up by the North Pole. Okay, so if Earth's like a magnet, then why doesn't metal just stick to the Earth, you know? Well, I mean, it wouldn't really stick like that, you know? It'd roll or get pulled toward the pole, just like the compass needle on your compass. So, okay, fine. If we had a metal marble, if we put it down on the road, why does it just roll up to Canada? It's a really interesting answer. So why doesn't that metal marble roll up to Canada? Well, it's the same reason that if your brother wants to run away, he can't if you hold him down, because you're stronger than he is. Can you think of a force that the Earth has that's really strong that holds things down to the Earth? You say gravity? You're right. No! We're okay. We're okay. We're okay. We're okay. We're good now. That's right, it's gravity. So gravity pushes down on the metal and creates friction so that it's really hard for that magnetic force to pull it. That's why when you made your compass, you had to take the needle and put it on a leaf and then put the leaf in water. That gets rid of all the friction so that needle can move where the magnetic field pulls it. Just like if you tried to hold down your brother, but he'd gotten into your mom's like coconut oil or something. Doesn't matter how strong you are, he's slippery, he's gonna get by. Okay, let's review. Compasses work because melted metal moving in the Earth creates a magnetic field. On the surface of the Earth, that field is so weak that gravity and friction makes it impossible to see. But once you eliminate the friction caused by gravity, you can see the magnetic field work. Fun facts! You can change where a compass points by putting a magnet or piece of metal close to it. Just don't do it on a boat, because otherwise they'll start going in circles. I know from experience. The magnetic North Pole isn't at the real North Pole, and it doesn't even stay put. Last year it was somewhere in northern Canada, and this year it's supposed to be in Russia. Speaking of changes, several times in the history of the Earth, the magnetic field is actually flipped. So if you used a compass back then, it would actually point south. That's okay though, because we didn't have compasses back then. We actually weren't even around back then. But you can find history of this in the geological record. That's something you should ask your grandfather about. Well, Charlotte, thanks for asking such good questions. I hope this answered some of them, and I hope you're having a good time at home. Hope we all get back to school and life and friends soon. In the meantime, here's this armadillo I found. He's a dirty armadillo.